about the social aspect, and for those of you who attended my talk yesterday about people and games and communities, trying to, we take community very seriously, and we think it's very important at CCP and White Wolf, and we want to try to make not only a game, but have a community around the game that people can interact with and draw meaning from. You brought up some really interesting kind of game design ideas, like tokens and creating a memory. We play games, and there's always something that, that sticks with you about the game, like something you did, and that's what makes that game great, right? It's that thing that you always remember, that you always remember playing. Does anybody have any questions about the things that Justin talked about, and the social mixing between CCP and White Wolf? Yes.
How much after the merger people are actually move from doing dark stuff to doing stuff on the other way?
I couldn't give you a number exactly. There were a lot of White Wolfers that had moved to. A lot of White Wolfers, like some of the old guard guys like Bill Bridges and Justin Keeley and Ken Cliff from way back in the day. They came back and they started working on the World of Darkness project. And then we've also hired a number of people to fill in roles at White Wolf. Great, veteran game designers like Joseph Carricker to take on the Vampire developer role. Eddie Webb, who handles all the kind of alternate publishing. Michelle Webb has come on to do QA for World of Darkness, but she also works on a lot of White Wolf projects still. So I feel like the team is a little more robust now. We have all this really, really great experience in the designing and implementing our own world. At the same time, we brought in a lot of fresh talent to see the future. We do a lot of alternate publishing now, a lot of PDF books, online free adventures and things like that. It's not something it's not something the rest of the industry has really started to undertake. I think a lot of major publishers like Wizards of the Coast are afraid of PDF and what they'll do to their business. But they've gone a different direction. They've gone to kind of the online compendium and D&D Insider, and that's great for them. We just don't feel like charging $5 a month and selling you books is really fair. So we try to give you as much free content on top. And Eddie Webb is he's the herald for that. He's been doing really great. Yes.
Does World of Darkness and upcoming Incarna patch to EVE Online use same graphics engine, and has the Incarna delayed because you are building World of Darkness?
So it's an interesting question. What CCP has done over the course of the last several years is develop a core technology that we're calling Carbon. And to be able to develop Incarna alone would have taken X amount of time. To develop a World of Darkness and the kind of avatar system would have taken X amount of time. To take the steps to build that core system once and to be able to use it in multiple games. That takes a little bit more time, but less time overall for all of our games. So that core technology doesn't just do avatars. That core technology does a lot of the mission system. Like the mission and questing systems are kind of the same database structure. They're not going to look, World of Darkness quests or whatever they end up being aren't going to look the same as EVE missions. But that core database structure is there, and that was something necessary for us to be able to build more games in the future. Yes.
How much more EVE Online requires from computer after the Incarna? Will it get more heavy to run from your computer? Does it demand more from your computer?
Right. I don't know the answer to that question because I'm really not a technical guy, but I don't think it's more than the minimum requirements currently. EVE isn't very demanding in the first place, and we don't require you to go out and buy a nice fancy computer to play EVE Online, but if you do, it looks really great. So that's been something we've been trying to do all along, is make it affordable to play. I mean, I had a beat up old laptop that I can run 2 clients of EVE on, which is, great for me. I don't know if that laptop will run the kind of stuff we're doing next year, but I think the customer's pocketbook is something we always think about, right? Like, we'd rather you just spend the $14.95 a month and continue to play the game and have a good time than worry about upgrading your computer, about, paying for expansions, paying for a box, things like that. A lot of these other companies try to get you at every turn, server transfer fees for $50 or whatever. I mean, we just don't do that. So we're always thinking about you.
Good.
Any other questions? Okay, let's go to the next one. Give us Rich Thomas. Rich has been at White Wolf for a long time, probably as long as Justin, if not longer. Actually, I can almost guarantee longer. I think he's been around since like 1994 or just before that. Rich Thomas, you may have heard from Magic the Gathering. He has done a lot of the art for the really early cards. He's been in the games industry for even longer than he's been with White Wolf, obviously. And he brings a lot of game design experience, not only on the art side, being a great art director and having a great eye for that sort of thing, but also as a game designer. I play with him in my weekly D&D game, and we go round and round and round and round about some of the decisions that games want to make about how you should play your games and what kind of structures they use. He's very much a role player, obviously. He has that kind of experience of being being creative. He likes to, my character should be able to do this because, I'm a sailor and I can do all this stuff. And I can, no, it's in the rules that you must do this, and you can't do that because the rules don't say so. So I think we have a kind of a happy medium sometimes, and he keeps me honest and I keep him honest. Previously, he was the creative director for White Wolf, so kind of the VP in charge of any products that came out. And more recently, he's moved into the lead game designer role for the Wool of Darkness project. So he manages guys like Justin Keeley and Bill Bridges and some of these other guys to make sure that we have he's kind of like a grandpa, right? Like he sits back and we're creating all this stuff and it's very forward, like creating massive multiplayer online games is a very forward idea to try to take a 20-year-old product and make it into this thing. He wants to make sure that it maintains its integrity as a horror, like a personal horror game, but also be able to be played on a computer without seriously breaking immersion. So, Rich, we're talking about just the way that the relationship between CCP and White Wolf has progressed. You work with a lot of designers on the Wool of Darkness projects. Some of these guys have come over from Iceland and that worked on EVE previously. What's that relationship like?
It's an interesting relationship where you come from vastly different experiences with creating games and worlds and things like that. Obviously, EVE is a brilliant sandbox that every other game that ever wants to be a sandbox should aspire towards or learn from or something. And our guys who worked on that, they made an amazing thing that a lot of other companies or designers aspire to and couldn't do. And so it's a totally different way of thinking than I think most game creators think, whether it's whether it's where we come from, with the experience in the paper RPG business, or people who we've hired recently who come from the computer game industry who are going, really, that's what you want to do? We wouldn't even dare do that at company X. So that's really inspirational to see a bunch of guys who've broken the rules and made it work. And that's sort of where we came from with White Wolf back in the day too. We did things that we were told will never work in the paper RPG business. And then we went, well, I don't know. Was it luck or arrogance or stupidity? Maybe a combination of all three. And so we're kind of a good team for that. Yeah. Well, let's just run over there and set something on fire. So, okay, sure, that sounds cool. But so the big picture, right? The big issue of how do we think about games? That I think we're very much into that. When we talk about our fan bases and they're talking about their crazy fans that just can't believe they did this, oh, they said that. It sounds exactly the way we talk about, when we talked about their fan base back in the day, continuing now, is whoa, we got the crazier fans. No, we do. We put them on their path, guys. We give them crazy worlds to play play around. So I think, I think that's it's been a really positive experience for. I hope it's been a positive experience for the guys who come over to live here for a while. Because working on the project, they had to uproot from the little volcanic island that could, and North Sea, and move here for a while. But the relationships are great.
It feels like the defining themes for White Wolf products in the past, and Will of Darkness specifically, was storytelling, whereas these guys' background has been interactivity, but both products and both worlds have allowed you, as designers, you give them a lot of tools, and then they go and they make either the story for themselves or
mess around in the sandbox. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, because we have so many rules, and our rules and they're written down, so it seems like they're official. But we were always the anti-rules guys. I mean, we were always tell the story, and the question is who tells the story. Not storyteller and the players, not White Wolf. Was the way we always presented it. Our famous was the golden rule, rule zero, or if the rule's not working for you, get rid of the rule, play the way you want to. And I think that's sandbox philosophy. And that's go do your thing and have a whole lot of fun. Where the real fun is? It's between you guys, not with us. We just give you the background. And I think that's exactly the same philosophy that the EVE had. It's just that EVE kind of had a few years of guys kind of coming up with a rough background that made sense for the EVE universe when it started, whereas we've got 20 years of lore and things that we can sift through and decide which works and which doesn't. So I think it's a lot more similar, or similar.